on, everybody? I'm here to do a review for the movie Ant-Man and the Wasp. Before I get started, I noticed y'all are looking at the screen and notice something is different. Yes, I got my hair cut. I had to because the barber ended a couple weeks ago. The barber ended up messing up my neckline and cut a little bit too further, I guess you could say too high up in the back, and it kind of looked kind of messy back there. So I just decided to, cut it all down. I didn't, you can see I didn't go like bald or anything like that. I still have some hair left, but I'm just gonna go in the process of regrowing it back out. So it's all gonna work out itself out in the end. But I didn't come in here to talk about that, but I just wanted to point out the obvious. So Ant-Man and the Wasp, this is the last MCU movie of 2018. We've gotten 3 of them this year, first being Black Panther in February, then Avengers Infinity War in April, and now we got Ant-Man and the Wasp in July to pretty much round it all out. Venom and Into the Spider-Verse really don't count because even though those are Marvel characters, they're not MCU movies. So this is it until Captain Marvel comes out in March of next year, which I believe they just finished wrapping up that film, if I'm not mistaken. But the synopsis pretty much for Ant-Man and the Wasp was pretty much a rescue mission. Just like Avengers Infinity War was a heist movie where they were getting all of the stones, where Thanos' mission was to get the stones, and that's pretty much what it was. And this film was pretty much rescuing the Janet Van Dyne character played by Michelle Pfeiffer, in which she got stuck in the quantum realm when she was doing a mission years ago when her daughter, Hope Van Dyne, was a child who of course grew up and became the new Wasp. And basically her and Scott Lang, who was Ant-Man, has to go and along with her father, Hank Pym, played by Michael Douglas, to go and rescue their mother. But of course they run into a problem. They run into this character called Ghost, who is the villain, so I guess you could say the villain of the film, in what she was in an accident with her parents years ago that caused her to take on the effects of the quantum realm, which means that she can phase in and out of things, hence why she's called Ghost. Now what I liked about this whole thing was in the previews and the trailers, it pretty much alluded to the fact that she was able to phase through things and go through walls and whatnot with the suit on. But the thing isn't, in the movie, she didn't need to have the suit on in order to do it. It was just something that was a side effect from that blast that she took on when she was a child. And the thing is, she needs Janet Van Dyne in order to become whole or become human, because she's been down in the quantum realm for 30 years. That's a very long time. Now the quantum realm was touched on a little bit in the first Ant-Man film, I believe more so towards the end, but they didn't dwell on it for too long. And Scott was the only person that was able to go into the quantum realm and successfully come back, because a lot of people who go into the quantum realm never come back. Like, they just get stuck down. It's almost like being stuck in limbo, and it's hard to get out unless somebody goes down there and they pull you out. And that has never been done until this film. Well, I guess you could say the first one too, because he was able to come back out. But it was a really good film. I really enjoyed it. It was very comedic, and we needed a comedy relief, especially with what happened in Avengers Infinity War, because, that was a very, very strong, dramatic film from beginning. And especially, we all know what happened at the end. I don't have to give any spoiler alerts, so the movie's already been spoiled. The movie's been out since April. I think it's about to come on DVD and Blu-ray. At this point, if you haven't seen it, then you're missing out. But Ant-Man and the Wasp was a really good movie. I really enjoyed everyone's character. Michael Pena, again, brought a lot of the funny to it. A lot of people said that they really loved his character. I love this character too. For a person who, the only thing he really could contribute to it was comedy, he really brought what he could to the film, just like he did in the first one. I remember when the first one came out, nobody was really paying attention to Ant-Man and the Wasp like that. People was looking like Ant-Man, not Ant-Man and the Wasp, but Ant-Man as a character. But that just shows the power that, I guess you could say, the mouse over at Disney, along with a lot of creatives who are involved with these films, can take these low-level characters that we've never heard of or never gave a damn about and prop them up and actually make you care and actually like them. I mean, Captain America and stuff like that, he's been around, but no one really cared about Captain America until his movies. Well, the first one was kind of lackluster, but then when Winter Soldier came out, then everybody really loved Captain America then, as well as Iron Man, but everyone loved the Hulk. It's just the fact that they just couldn't get his movies right. But all in all, Ant-Man and the Wasp was really good. I don't feel that it was overly hyped. It was almost, and I didn't really see a lot of marketing for it like they did Avengers Infinity War and of course Black Panther. Probably because, you know, no one really cared for Ant-Man and everything like that. But it was a really good movie, and it does tie in into Infinity War eventually. Well, I'm not going to spoil it, but it happens. The timeline happens after Civil War and before Infinity War, so it's right there in between. Because, as you know, Ant-Man and Wasp were not anywhere to be found in Avengers Infinity War, so everyone kept asking, where's Ant-Man, where's the Wasp, and where they at? He was on house arrest. That's pretty much that was the running joke. He was on house arrest. That's why he couldn't get into the fight with Thanos and everything like that. But Captain America and the Avengers were mentioned in this movie, so it shows that there was a link between the two characters, or the I guess you could say the two worlds that were here. Now, what I really liked is that we got a good look and, you know, dwelled into the quantum realm. Like I said, it was very lightly touched on in the first one, but the quantum realm is a very interesting place. Now, one thing I will say, and it was actually mentioned somewhere in the end credits, and it's like I want to spoil it, but I don't want to spoil it. But let's just say time was mentioned. And when they mentioned time, I said, oh, I know who they're alluding to. I'm not going to say it in this video, but let's just say that there's only one MCU movie left before Avengers 4 comes out. And I already mentioned who movie that was at the beginning of this video. So it's going to be very interesting to see how it all ties together come March of next year when that person's movie comes out. But all in all, Ant-Man and the Wasp is a good movie. It's a good family-friendly movie. Your kids are going to love it. There was some kids in my theater, but it wasn't like going to see The Incredibles and having a bunch of little kids there. I mean, you had some kids there, but it wasn't like to the point where you couldn't enjoy it because the kids were being rowdy and everything like that. It was a very good, decent crowd that I was in the theater with. Funny movie, had some action. It didn't have a lot of action in it, but to be honest, I didn't expect it to have much action, but the action that it did, it was really good. I like the fact, I like how they were able to, you know, of course, go small, go big, make things like blow up and everything of that nature. That technology, just imagine if that was real. Like, imagine you can make your vehicle go small, go big, make yourself go big or go small. Like, that's very interesting right there. And it's like, he doesn't have powers that can come out of him, but it's a suit, and the tech is built within the suit. You know, with other characters, they have powers that are, you know, they're born with, or powers that they may have been quote unquote cursed with. And that's what makes Ant-Man and Wasp so unique. And what else can I say? I really enjoyed the movie, and you know, if you go and see it, you're gonna enjoy it as well. You're gonna have a lot of good laughs and everything, the punchlines and everything that they say in the film and whatnot. Oh yeah, T.I. was in the movie again. He was in the first one, and some people forgot that he was even in the first one, because you know his character wasn't as big, but he was in the movie, and the time that he did have on screen, which wasn't a lot of screen time. I can tell that that the times he shot in this movie wasn't probably longer than 2 or 3 months. But the screen time he did have was pretty prevalent. I'm not going to spoil anything in this video. Trust me, I do. I really want to. But all I can say is that end credit scene. That end credit scene was it was interesting. It was very interesting. None of us saw that one coming. That end credit scene for a movie like this, didn't see it coming. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it at that. If I had to rate Ant-Man and the Wasp, I would give it an 8 out of 10. I can't really say that I give it a perfect score because there were some slow moments in there where I felt there was maybe a little too much dialogue where there didn't need to be. But, you know, it had its slow points, but it had its high points as well. But that ending, though, they get an, you know, actually I give them 8.5 just for that end credit scene. I give them an extra 0.5 for that one. I'm going to end it off on this note. Y'all let me know what you think down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. If you can, donate to the channel via PayPal. And if you would like to become a patron on Patreon, you can do that as well. I will talk to you in the next one.